Hi everyone, this is Nidhi from Canopus and you are listening to the Canopus podcast, the show that wants to make developers' life a little bit easier by providing directive guidance. Welcome to episode 5. In this episode, we will discuss programming paradigms that are imperative and declarative. We will analyze both of them in terms of difference, performance, suitability, and developer efforts. Today we have Jimmy as our guest who has experience in mobile applications and web development on multiple platforms. Often we come around the words declarative and imperative programming and we try to differentiate them in depth. So Jimmy, what is imperative programming?
Imperative programming is a programming paradigm where instead of defining the results, we define steps to reach our end goal. You want to reach somewhere, then you define like I need to go straight for 5 meters, and then I need to take left turn, and then I need to go straight for 4 meters, and then you reach your goal. So that is imperative programming, basically, where you define steps that you need to take in order to achieve your results. So basically, imperative programming focuses on how of the programming questions, like how to reach the goal where we want to be.
Yeah, basically imperative programming focuses on steps that we can say that a set of commands or a sequence of instruction that are defined to achieve specific goals or end results, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
So, what is declarative programming and how it differs from imperative?
So declarative programming focuses on the result itself. Like instead of defining the steps you need to follow to reach your goal, you directly define the goal that you want, and then you rely on system or other framework to decide on behalf of you how to reach there. So basically, declarative programming focuses on the what part of the questions, where you just say that I want this button to be on the screen, and then systems and framework determines how to put it there.
Yeah, that's very informative definition. So ultimately, you are trying to say that in cooking, if you say someone to make some recipe step by step, that is imperative part, and on the other hand, on declarative side, you tell someone to make some dish for you, in which you don't care about how they made it, but you just want it to be ready.
Yeah, exactly.
As imperative and declarative focus on how and what respectively, do you think choice matter?
So yeah, let me tell you why we should choose declarative. So basically, you'll write less code, and that means you'll develop application faster. Also, you rely on system for the stuff you want. So that means system will do more things, and most of the time system is more tested and robust. That means you'll have less errors. At the same time, there are a few reasons to not choose declarative. One of them is lack of control. With declarative, you don't have much control because lots of stuff are basically handled by system. And that means if you want something to be handled in very detailed way, the exact way you want, that might not be possible with declarative programming. And also sometimes those programs can be inefficient compared to how you would write in imperative programming, but that would be very edge case, and most of the time I would say 99% of the time declarative programming will be faster, and if not faster then at least on level of imperative programming.
Yeah, that's true. I have seen some applications where they transform their code base from imperative to declarative, and that ultimately reduce their code base almost 50%. Which platforms and frameworks are using imperative paradigms, and which one are using declarative one?
Yeah, that's a good question. Languages like Fortran, Java, Pascal, C, C++, Assembler, Basic, Ruby, JavaScript, C Sharp, Python, etc. uses imperative programming, and there are some declarative programming languages as well, like Prolog, Lisp, Haskell, Miranda, Erlang, SQL, and HTML. And there are some recently developed frameworks like Swift UI, Flutter, Android Jetpack Compose. Those also use declarative programming as well.
Which do you think provides more performance?
Uh, it's hard to say, but most of the time, if you are not optimizing and if you rely on system, then declarative programming will be faster one, because you care less and system cares more, and basically system will be like thoroughly tested, and the implementation would be mostly good compared to what you would write yourself. So in general, declarative programming languages will be faster, but that will not always be the case. It also depends on your use case.
That means declarative programming wins in performance, stability, and dev efforts most of the time. So we should prefer it wherever possible to create robust application with less effort.
Yeah, that's essence of it.
Thanks for listening to the Canopus podcast. Make sure to check the show notes to discover our informative materials related to this podcast. If you have any questions or are interested in further discussions, please feel free to reach out on our Twitter handle Canopus Software.